y a toujours un risque.
Even before he was elected, the French president told CNN that selecting any leader is a risk for voters. You just never know how he'll turn out, he told me. Thank you very much. But after his first year in office, many French seem to be of the opinion putting their money on Francois Hollande may not have been the best bet. No president has declined so far, so fast in the opinion polls as Hollande has. Nearly 3 out of 4 of his countrymen say they are disappointed with his first year. A plurality of French now say they think Hollande's predecessor, Nicolas Sarkozy, would have done a better job than Hollande has. The biggest complaint? Hollande's inability to halt the rising unemployment rates or declining economy. But political analysts say there's more to it than that.
The feeling that François Hollande maybe is a not decisive person, that maybe is lacking the leadership style that the French president normally needs.
Indeed, one leading news magazine here last month put out a cover story calling the president Mr. Weak. Perhaps even more worrying is the suggestion of another that France is in a pre-revolutionary state.
Voilà.
The reason for such alarmism is not Hollande's critics on the right, but the disaffection of his one-time supporters on the left. Many who voted for him, such as these steelworkers, believed his promises that their jobs would be protected. But they were not, and the workers, along with many others here, are disillusioned. Leading members of Hollande's own Socialist Party are openly critical of the president.
There's a bad indicator on the lust and trust of the president in his own electorate. François Hollande knows that he cannot govern with only 2/3 of the Socialist Party. He needs allies.
But Hollande is having difficulty finding them. His socialist critics say changing the government is not good enough unless there's also a change in policy that takes a clear turn toward the left. Under the French Constitution, Francois Hollande still has 4 more years in office, and nothing short of a revolution could change that. Still, increasingly, his supporters and detractors are wondering what could possibly change his political hand for the better if there's no change in the employment and economic picture. So far, only his quick decision to intervene militarily against the Islamicist revolutionaries in Mali gave Hollande a slight uptick in the polling numbers. Even his personal life, sometimes a source of popularity for presidents, has worked against him, with continuing criticism in some quarters of his unmarried relationship with a companion who some call the first mistress. Even dissolving the parliament and calling for new elections may not help.
If you are very low in the surveys and the political crisis, you pronounce a dissolution and you lose the election.
That could backfire. It could be a very disaster.
Could be a real political and electoral disaster.
So on both sides of the French political aisle, on the president's first anniversary in office, there are not many plans to celebrate. Jim Bitterman, CNN, Paris.